friends, it's Jem. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh god, that was cringe. I haven't made a video in a long time. Hey, how's it going? It's Jem. It's been a while since I made a YouTube video and I've been really busy over the last year or two since I last posted. Honestly, just pursuing art. A few updates. I graduated illustration. I've been doing graphic design full-time, but now I'm focusing on doing art markets and my little illustration shop, Gem World. If you clicked on this video, then you probably either A, wanted to start selling your art at art markets, or B, you're just kind of curious in what I learned the last year or two that I've been away. So I attended around 25 plus art markets in 2024, ranging from outdoor markets, small comic and zine fairs to larger artist alleys. So number one is it's very expensive. From the table fees to the item production, from commuting, or even just the food that you buy in the day of, things like that can really stack up. For people who don't really know, to table at these events, you have to usually apply, submitting a portfolio or filling out a form, and also have to pay a table fee if you get accepted, which kind of range from anywhere. I've tabled from places as low as $20 to even free events to as big events that I had to pay $100 to $300 just to table for the weekend or just for 1 or 2 days. With that all adding up, I try to save as much as I can, not only on the day of, but kind of the days leading up to it. For example, I try to pack my own lunch and bring my own food. Maybe instead of taking an Uber, I might take the bus, which at first was definitely a lot, but I've definitely gotten used to it, especially with the transit system in Toronto and Canada, which I also have learned that it's okay to split a table or share a table with a friend, especially these conventions where the table fees can get pretty expensive and it might get really overwhelming for someone who's new. I would recommend seeing that if it's allowed, depending on the event, if you guys can split the table fee and have one side dedicated for you and one side dedicated to your friend, or maybe have a little collection of your friends where you all table selling small pieces of work. I find that's a great way to start, especially if it's very intimidating doing it by yourself. Having friends around, being there to help you throughout the day, and just, it's really fun. And also, I've learned to choose my events more wisely. In 2024, my goal was to do as many events as I can, to really across the whole spectrum of small indie markets to larger ones. And I've learned, don't sign up for everything. As much as it was a great experience and I don't regret anything, there are a few markets that I lost money, that it may have not been worth it because it was so far away, or it was good but the audience didn't really fit my audience. In the future, I think I would try attending these events as guests, maybe visiting these markets, trying to look around and see if the vibe is really fit for me. Another way that I've kind of begun to choose wisely is I've just made a lot more friends from these 10 markets. I've talked to people, asked them about their opinions, and I also share my own opinions and thoughts about markets. And especially in Toronto, the art community is really nice. You can find a lot of Discord channels. You'll find a lot of people who are very open about sharing their experience about artist markets and artist alleys. So that was just number one, that tables are very expensive. So number two is that you might have to do your own marketing for your event. Now, this may be hard for people who don't like posting on social media or just don't even post on social media. It's the hard truth that I had to face. A bunch of these markets that they may have a really good following, or it was like an affordable market, I realized that if I wanted to make sure that my audience, my followers, my friends, or people just in the area know that event is happening, I have to post about it. I'll make a reel, I'll make a Instagram story or a post sharing either my schedule of where I'd be the next couple months, like what markets I'll show up at, or even just a reel showing off what new stuff that I'll have at that said market. Not all events will promote themselves, so it really helps if you have that social media aspect. Number three for me is don't make too much of one product, especially if you're not sure and you're like starting out. I had the mistake of ordering like 50 of one sticker once, and I think I still have that sticker to this day just because it didn't sell that well. Like, people loved it, but it just wasn't the star of the show. So I would try to make smaller stocks, and then if that sells really well, order more later. It's a high risk and high reward if you do order more, because you might be able to save money in the long run. Like, you might get more for less. But with how much product I have now, knowing like space is an issue, and that you kind of, especially when bringing your stuff there, you don't have a lot of stuff and a lot of stock of one product and then just sell none of it, because then it'll just be taking up space. And so instead, I usually advise people to bring like 10 to 15 stock of one product. So for example, instead of bringing 50 of these, I'll bring 10 or 15. And if it sells really well, if I know that this is a popular design, I might bring 20, especially for 2-day events. Knowing that I can be able to go back home and just grab a stock, I kind of bring less so that it's not as heavy. But yeah, that also helps just with making new stuff. I constantly like making new designs, so having kind of that test batch also helps me think about future designs, to be like, okay, this frog design sold really well, maybe I make more frog stuff, or you know, vice versa. So number 4 is the way your table looks matters a lot. Aesthetics are different for everyone. Like, if you have your own vibe, aesthetic, like, you do you. You can find a lot of examples on Pinterest, on Instagram, on TikTok of like people designing their tables very extravagantly, spending a lot of money on that. Let me tell you now, you don't need to do that. You don't need to go out on Amazon and buy all of the new tablecloths and whatever. I've done so many videos on this on my Instagram, where I find cheap things. Like, I go thrifting, I find displays, grids, containers, even like packaging and stuff. All I find them on like thrift store, Facebook Marketplace.
Part 2, Artist Alley display and storage tips. The dollar store is your best friend. Check here for storage and display ideas. I would use these divided storage boxes for stickers. I use this container, but it gets kind of disorganized. That's why the dividers are useful. This one has dividers you can take out, change. I would use these for keychain displays. Right now, I use command hooks that tend to fall off. For table displays, drawer organizers like this can be cute and adaptable to stickers, prints, and miscellaneous goods. Make sure to utilize height on your table. Grids and risers like this can help. Check on Facebook Marketplace for cheap, affordable display options, like baskets, containers, or grids. Bonus tips for the summer. Outdoor markets, if you can bring a fan, it can get hot. If you have a power bank, these plug-in ones work too. You can even get a fanny pack at the dollar store to store your money and change. I always use a fanny pack at markets alone. If you have your own display tips, let me know in the comments. I love learning new ways to set up under...
What is important is it fits to what you're making or doing. For example, I have a very bright and colorful setup. I have white grids, I have like maybe wooden displays, and like cute, colorful, foldable crates that help me as well. All those things aren't necessary, but it helped me let more people come to my table. Having things like a self-serve sticker display, people are more prone to picking up a sticker and being like, oh my god, I really love that. They show that sticker sheet to their friend and they end up falling in love with it, so they ended up buying it. I also attend a lot of these markets, so knowing from personal experience, I love when a table looks cute or has a cute little theme, or like it's really cool and has these plants or little trinkets that draw me to that table. The same applies to your own, so keep that in mind. I also always say having some signage, like your username, QR code, what type of payments you accept, and usually the price signage, especially for shy people who don't really want to ask or really talk, especially if you're busy. So having your pricing there are very important to me. Yeah. Number 5, prepare for the worst. Now that can be a little bit intimidating, but with these art markets, there's a lot that comes with it. So it can either be a really good day that's very long, you on your feet talking to a lot of customers, so you'll be using your voice a lot, so you want to be prepared with water, food, snacks, wear something comfortable, good shoes, stuff like that, like small things that people may know and think about but can also be overlooked. But also prepare for the worst, as in it might be a slow market. You might not have anyone come up to you, you might not have any sales, you'll have to prepare kind of emotionally for that, and you just have to know that you tried your best and make the best out of any situation. So yeah, that's basically it. And the sixth most important tip is have fun. At the end of the day, you did something amazing. You tabled your first market. You watching this video is doing research to how to table. It's amazing. So when you do get to that point, make sure to take as many photos as you can. Take pictures of your setup, take pictures with your table that you can use for your portfolio for future events. Try making new friends, go around the market and introduce yourself, do art trade, and above all, just be proud of what you were able to accomplish. Not everyone is able to share their art, and you taking that first step, tabling, no matter how small of a leap, it is a leap. So I'm very proud of you, and make sure to pat yourself on the back, because I know I do by treating myself to a sweet treat after a market. But yeah, that's sort of 5 things I learned from doing markets the last 2 years. I've been doing them since 2020, but I've definitely learned a lot the last 2 years. So if I've met you at these markets, thank you. And if I'm just meeting you now, welcome. I hope to post more videos. And yeah, thank you. See ya.